It's about to be Bafflemania out here. We got conspiracies, we got UFO stuff, conspiracy stuff, paranormal stuff. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe if you're new. Roll it.
Stop, please.
Okay, what is going on?
Please.
Oh,
This
something
creepy
about
video comes from D's Dark Adventures. I'll tag it below. And after hiking on a strange trail in the woods of Ohio, she begins to be hunted by something in the distance, and it does not go well. Because not only does it look much larger than her, but it follows her all the way out of the woods. And you can tell she was terrified. I cut it down 4 times, but here's how it all started. Let me know what you think.
Yo, always carry ball before, bro.
Hi.
Always have a... Yeah, that sucker is looking at him. Almost disappear. It's moving. Yeah, run. You need to run.
I'm leaving.
After that scare, she makes it safely out of the woods. That is until she hears movement behind her and turns around and sees something in the tree line.
Oh man, like what would you do in that situation? Because she's screaming, I'm leaving. That person, if it was a person, must have heard it as well, so they're gonna attempt to do it, scare you even more. Or if it was not a person, then it can just run at you, so you need to... Holy crap, yo! Yeah, run! Oh, she's not running that fast. Yo, with the spirit of Usain Bolt, you got this.
Dude, no! It looks like a person, man. But no, there's...
Oh crap.
It looks like a fucking person. Stop.
Yeah, it's right there, huh? This? No, wait, what? It's not a person.
It just keeps getting...
It does not, look... Oh man.
Somebody drive by.
Somebody drive by? Is it near?
Yeah, that lady doesn't really need to be out in the woods at night, walking or hiking or camping or doing anything if she's not aware that the area she's in has bears. That's what that looked like to me, was a bear stalking its next potential meal. That lady
But wouldn't the bear run at you though?
is extremely lucky.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, of course,
Yeah, oh, if that was a bear, holy crap, you just...
is all in on a central bank digital currency so that they can control and manipulate all transactions. They want to take away cash. So we're moving towards this digital currency future. Who will control it? Will it be you and me, or will it be a central bank digital currency? What do you think is going to happen over the next couple of years?
The only world I see where we don't wind up with people in charge of their own money is if Bitcoin was actually started by the CIA literally and has some back door built in that no one has found, and I don't think that that's real.
I would say that the central bank digital currency is probably the one thing the government's working on that scares me more than anything else. Once that gets initiated, we're done for. Every transaction you make will be monitored, and if they don't like what you're spending your money on, you'll be penalized. That's not a free society.
During the trucker convoy, the Chinese gentleman, older...
But essentially the social credit system. We already have the credit score. The next step would be like the social credit system, right? China already has it, so...
Right? He's following me, and I'm sort of getting a little nervous.
Not a free society.
During the
Chinese
trucker
man.
convoy, the Chinese gentleman, older guy, he's following me, and I'm sort of getting a little nervous. And I end the stream, put my camera down. He comes up to me and says, "Is your camera off?" I said, "Yeah," and I thought I was, maybe getting in trouble. He says, "I don't want to be on camera, but I'm from China. I lived through this, and when I hear Justin Trudeau using certain terminology, it's literally like the English translation of what was said in China. I don't know which leader would have said it. I see it here, and I'm terrified, and there's nowhere else to go. Like, if Canada and the West falls, where are you going to go?"
So I know a few Cuban people, and this is the same sentiment that I've been hearing from them for years. I've been told by them that they feel like they're watching America follow the communism roadmap, just ticking off one item after the next on the checklist. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you like this kind of content,
like and subscribe, and shout out to the homie Barry Step, and shout out to all of these people making these TikToks and I guess entertaining us at night, right?
I'm making new to join me.
If you were going to paint a frieze of American history, of the tens of thousands of things that you could have painted in the famous frieze of American history at the base inside the U.S. Capitol Dome, what does he paint? Nothing else but the Aztec calendar stone And there are so many important elements, by the way, in the frieze of American history that send secret messages back and forth to the Freemasons. Montezuma's hand gesturing down towards the sacred fire, which is encircled by that serpent that's going to return. Here's what some called an Aztec drum, but notice that it has the shape of a Maltese cross, which is the symbol that is connected in history to the empire of Osiris, Apollo, who began on Malta. The Maltese cross, of course, for those reasons, was important to the Knights of Malta, connected with Freemasonry in your U.S. Capitol dome. I wanted to know is, were these same mystical-minded gentlemen, were they aware of the beliefs of the Maya and the beliefs of the Aztec? Were they aware of it? And if they were aware of it, did they incorporate it into their belief system? And especially, did they incorporate it into the symbolism of the Great Seal and other important elements of Washington, D.C.? This little guy that's hiding in the U.S. Capitol dome with his tongue sticking out at the world is the god Tonatiuh, the god who demands human sacrifice. In fact, according to Spanish and Aztec records, more than 20,000 living human sacrifices per year had to be offered to Tonatiuh, who is going to demand the same on his return. And read on our government website about how Thomas Jefferson didn't prefer any of them, rejected all of them. Why? Our records say because he wanted the U.S. Capitol to reflect the Roman pantheon, and it even says in our government records, dedicated to all pagan gods. Virgil's Aeneid, in which Ascanius, the son of Annius from conquered Troy, prayed to Apollo's father, Jupiter, or Saturn, Zeus. Charles Thompson, the designer of the Great Seal's final version, condensed line 625 of Book 9 of Virgil's Aeneid, which reads, Jupiter omnipotus, Adacibus annuit coeptus, or all...
Okay. Okay, we're gonna just... Tranquilo, papi, tranquilo. La. That's crazy. That's crazy. I got none of that, but that's crazy.
Powerful Jupiter favors the daring undertaking. He concised that to annuit coeptus. He approves our undertaking to conceal the true identity of the he of the Great Seal, the mythical father god Jupiter, who gives Apollo life. It's on your U.S. $1 bill.
Damn.
Thanks to Roosevelt and Wallace, 32nd degree mystics.
Now, of course, if you guys did not know, I'm in Canada, but I have seen the $1 bill. Indeed, I had the $1 US bill earlier. I just went to the bank and had to deposit, right? So I deposited there. And yeah, behind the $1 bill, there's a conspiracy with Freemason and the $1 bill and the Illuminati, right? Like behind the $1 bill. Yeah. I'm not fully aware of it, but never really done too much research on it just yet. But these are like this is something that I've heard of. If you know more about it, let me know in the comments.
Who believed the prophecy on the Great Seal, prophecy about the coming of the great architect of the universe, also known as Osiris, also known as Apollo, also known in the Bible as Nimrod, and they believed that his coming was soon and that it would be heralded by a new breed of humanity. You look at your dollar and it says, "In God we trust." Who do you think that's talking about?
Damn.
Is that the God of the Bible? Well, you know, if you read, by the way, what caused the great push in America to get placed on our currency, the phrase "In God we trust," that's not really what they started out wanting. It was Christians. And they had actually said to Congress, hypothetical annihilation of the United States in the future, antiquaries of the future would have determined that America had been a pagan nation based on the symbols of the Great Seal and the way Washington, D.C. was laid out. Even the old-timers knew this. And they wanted something in our government that would reflect that widespread Christian view that was held among the mostly agrarian communities. It was opposed by the Freemasons. It was opposed by the President of the United States. They did not want something saying we are a Christian nation, compromise and put "In God we trust" because of the ambiguity related to that phrase.
Okay, I'm not sure if what he's saying is like absolute facts or not, but a little interesting though nonetheless. Absolutely, right? Like,
who is,
because yeah, America, I guess America is all about like "In God we trust," but do they really trust in God? Like nowadays, like think about it, right? Like, do you think the government really trusts in God? Because if they trusted God, or if they trust in God, like, we wouldn't be here the way we are, or we wouldn't be living our lives this miserably. Some of you are living good. I'm not talking about that, like, but generally speaking, like, most people are living very, very miserably, or just getting by. getting by is not enough, bruh. Like, you know, we need to strive for better, and everybody deserves a better life. Everybody deserves a life where they're not chained with finances. You feel what I'm saying? Like the video if you know what I'm saying.
The God that's being talked about on the Bible, every symbol on our dollar would tell them it is Osiris. It is the ancient God, dying and resurrecting God. It is Apollo. It's he whose eye is hovering above the uncapped pyramid. That is the Novus Ordo Seclorum. That is a prophecy. It's taken from a prophetic line in Virgil's Eclogue 4, line 5, Magnus ab integro seclorum nascitur ordo. The interpretation of the original Latin being in the majestic roll of circling centuries begins anew. That is a prophecy of the Cumae Sibyl, who predicts the arrival of a divine son. But who was the Cumaean Sibyl? Well, she was the most important prophetess of Apollo.
That was a plethora of new information. I'm getting more and more fascinated by all the Freemason symbolism all over DC and all over our government institutions and stuff. I mainly started paying attention to this stuff recently because I plan to go to DC at the end of the year, and I want to see some of this stuff in person. It absolutely makes our founding seem a lot darker and more ominous than what we were taught in elementary.
I'm pretty new to all of this. I want to know that, if you are caught up with all of that, share more details in the comments. Absolutely.
Cool.
If you do really have multiple copies of yourself living out various lifetimes, the deja vus would be the parts where, like a fabric being woven, those are the parts that overlap. And you're like, I've done this before. It's like, yeah, you have. You're doing it right now on the other side of that other reality.
You guys believe in parallel universe? Deja vus are crazy, right? Like, I feel like everybody do get deja vus. I had some, and whenever you get that deja vu, it's a very bizarre feeling, right? It's hard to explain. I guess if you have experienced deja vu, you know what I'm talking about. I feel like everybody does at least at one point. I cannot be the only one that have experienced some of them. And parallel universe concept is so baffling indeed. It's like you here on Earth and then there's you on another universe, but both of you have not like seen each other. And okay, for example, right, let's just say parallel universe exists. Does it exist in a physical form? For example, this Earth that we're living on, physical, right? Does that mean that there's another universe, another planet out there, same as this planet Earth, and you are on that planet, but the outcome is probably going to be a bit different? Is that true? And if that's true, how many parallel universes do we have? Because the universe, what we learned is it's vast, it's humongous. Humongous is not even the right word to use for how big it is, right? You got billions of galaxies, billions of planets within each galaxy. So one galaxy, billions of planets. Now guess what? There are billions of galaxies. Within each, they got billions of planets. So if this concept is real, I would like to actually believe that there's gotta be like physical planets with parallel universe concept, actual physical planets. Maybe they're just light years away, maybe we're never gonna find them, maybe it's not within our reach. Yeah, it's I love this crap. Thoughts?
Of course you're having the deja vu because this isn't your first time living the same life. How many times you could do it? Maybe you could just keep doing it. I think that's a possibility. And I came to this idea that the triple crossroad of Hecate is past, present, and future. And I had a weird revelations or enlightenments, illuminations having to do directly with Hecate and the flow of time, and then even some waking incidents. We all have our weird ways for how we come to our conclusions and suspicions.
I absolutely love this theory. I've always had my own theory on deja vu, and I believe I've talked about it on the channel before, that time is a flat circle. We just perceive time linearly. So because time is a flat circle, everything is happening all at once. And when we dream, sometimes our subconscious will allow us to dip into future events because everything is all happening at the same time. So we dip into these future events.
Have you guys ever had a dream where you saw something and then when you woke up it happened, or maybe happened the day later, or happened in the future essentially? This is gonna sound insane, but when I was a kid I had a dream, gonna sound childish, it's that in the dream I was sleeping in another room and I saw that my sister was opening up my notebook, right? And I woke up and for some weird reason I ran to her and she indeed was reading my notebook. So I saw real time, and I was like in a different room. So that's the only time when I dreamt that, and it came true. And I was a kid back then, and I never had like any other dreams where, you know, I would see the future in it. I never had any experience. So have you had any experience like that? It's crazy,
and
man.
Witness them just like they're actually happening in a dream state, and then years down the road we relive them, and that's where we experience our deja vu. That's kind of been my theory on deja vu, but I really like this theory.
Before we move on, I wanted to show you guys this UFO sighting as well. Check this.
So, in early September 2015, just before Hurricane Ignacio hit, something unusual happened on the Hawaiian island of Molokai. People were busy preparing for the approaching storm. The sky was cloudy, and the wind was starting to pick up. Okay. A local resident, who usually enjoyed watching the sky, was outside with a camera. While looking up, they noticed something really bizarre. A mysterious metallic object, which seemed to be hovering high up in the sky. Take a look.
Wait for it.
Le 30 août 2015, peu le passage de l'ouragan Ignacio, cet objet volant non identifié d'un diamètre, évalué entre 4 à 5 mètres, a été filmé par un touriste.
Okay, so it's like 4 to 5 meters. So she's speaking French. Diamètre, elle est en train de dire c'est 4 à 5 mètres. So 4 to 5 meters of diameter. How do you say that in English? I knew about it, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sur l'île de Molokai.
It does look like a door of a ship, or you know, like on the submarine. It feels like a door of a submarine, kind of, right? Yeah. Well, what you doing inside? What you would do? Yeah, think about it. What would you be doing inside if you were in a UFO like that, right? With this shape. And it seems like that it's hovering
The
there.
object seemed to be in the shape of a disc or puck and had a shiny metal-like surface. As the camera focused, more details became clear. The object was large and seemed to have dark areas or openings on its surface. It hovered steadily, reflecting the limited light in the cloudy sky. The footage shows the metallic object moving slowly and smoothly.
Yeah, like, what would you be doing? Like, what would if this is really like alien UFO, and if the aliens are inside and they're actually controlling this UFO, I wonder what would they be doing? Like, looking around, perhaps, like seeing like where they can park it. I mean, it doesn't look like that they were on a pee break either, because the UFO is constantly moving, or maybe they had it on autopilot, or maybe this is them on another planet, and this is like one of their drones that they're controlling while being away on their own planet. You never know, guys. Back to this one.
Right here makes a lot of sense. I really like it.
This is so weird. The Göbekli Tepe. There's new stuff coming out from that.
What?
So this guy who was on the Joe Rogan podcast, he's just like, isn't it kind of weird that this site was discovered in the 90s, but yet we've only dug up 5%. He did some digging. Guess who owns the Göbekli Tepe?
I bet BlackRock.
George Bush. MySpace Tom.
Was I right?
No.
Oh.
The World Economic Forum. The weirdos that say that you will own nothing and be happy. These guys that are like dictating everything about our world, they own Göbekli Tepe. And they said we will not excavate it anymore because we want to leave it for future generations.
That makes no sense.
We could find out so much more about the people or things that...
I thought like this was not his like hair or ponytail. I thought like there was a cat trying to, you know what I mean, like get up to his ear or something.
Built this site. I really do feel like this site had something to do with the Watchers.
Mm-hmm.
What are they hiding? Do they know something about it? That they're just like, we can't expose this because could it give proof to all this ancient knowledge that would validate scripture, maybe, you know? And what this guy said is, our government will never acknowledge what they can't control.
The good thing about this is that the world is actually waking up to what the World Economic Forum is doing. They're basically at the head of the table as far as evil organizations that seek to control the population go. And it's my hope and belief that it will eventually be dissolved as people continue to wake up, as people realize what they're up to. So we might actually get to go back to digging before long.
But if everybody's awake, then... You know what I mean? But the concept of everybody being awake is also, I don't think that would ever happen, because there are gonna be people that that wouldn't want to wake up or wouldn't get across any of that. And there's the concept of red pill and blue pill, right? Blue people is somebody in this situation, I would say, just believes the government blindly. And you know what, like some of you watching this video, you'll be like, nah, that's crazy. Nobody in this day and age would believe the government 110%. Guess what? I had a friend like that. And I actually red pill him, and now he no longer, he got effed in the ass multiple times by the government. So he's a government employee, so he got effed in the ass, and now guess what? He has, you know, started to take a little bit of that red pill. He's like, he started like warming up to the idea now, right? But that's the thing though, that my point here is that that was my literal friend though. Like, blue pill, trust the government, absolutely. And he's like, nah bro, like, what, you crazy? You know, the ticks that we got during the Ronnie situation, they were actually good. And I cannot talk about more on that because the channels can get banned actually, so there's that. But yeah, he would believe, absolutely, he would be the first in line. The type of guy he is, he's literally, if the government comes out tomorrow and is like, you need to get the jab, he would be the first one. He would race there, he would run to get that jab. He would be the first one to get the ticks, okay, without asking questions. That's the most baffling part though. So that was the, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but just to kind of like paint the picture here, that's the type of guy he was. But now he's not, because he has been effed in the ass so many times. But so my point is that if he was like that, how many other people are gonna be like him? How many other people are like him that just believe everything, just close eyes, look down, just follow orders? There are so many, and people are gonna continue to wake up, but we're never gonna get to the point where everybody's awake, because that's not how it works. If everybody's awake, then you know, who is gonna do the this and that, right? Like, who's gonna do how are we gonna progress? You feel what I'm saying? So that we need people that are asleep, and we need people that are awake too.
Hey y'all, have you
There
ever
needs to be a
wondered
balance.
why they don't make removable batteries in your electronic devices anymore? Now, you have to be of a certain age to appreciate this when it comes to things like laptops and cell phones. And as far as tablets go, they've always pretty much been internal.
Please don't tell me that this is also bad.
But what's the crazy thing about wanting a removable battery? That is the fact that when you remove the battery, there is no power, so nothing can be running. And I understand, you think that when you power off the device, that it is completely powered off. Now, my only concern, and that's with anything of that nature, is you don't know what processes are running. And here's...
It is true that if you just click it once and, you know, the screen goes black, of course, the phone is not turned off. It's like processing. But what it feels like that what he's saying is that when you permanently turn off, I'm not saying like to put the sleep mode on or just like one click and screen goes black type of power off. He's talking about like permanently shutting down. I feel like that when you shut down, it's off. Could be wrong though. The reason why I'm saying this is because of the battery. The battery would not deplete. I have never done this test, but it would be interesting if like somebody, if somebody can do this test. Maybe I'll do it later on. It's like fully charge your phone and turn it off completely, and maybe, you know, a day after, maybe 12 hours later when you wake up or something, and see if the battery is like at 98%, 97%, or is it still at 100%. Because if the battery is at like 90 or 80%, that's crazy. You will feel what I'm saying? That means that it was alive. Your phone was alive. Your phone was on, essentially. But if it was at 98, 97, that also tells me the phone was up, but it was like using very minimal electricity. Yeah, I gotta actually do a test on that.
Here's my best example of why I want a removable battery on my phone, especially. This here is an iPhone that is completely dead on the battery, but yet with no power, it is still findable. Findable means that you can GPS track it. Battery's dead. They're giving up secrets here, and I find that really interesting because we all know that when we walk with a cell phone, we have a tracker on us, but even when the battery's dead, think about it.
So my daughter actually had her 17th birthday last week, and
Uh-oh.
we think that we threw her phone away while we were picking up the wrapping paper and stuff from the gifts and throwing that out. We were able to track the phone and show that it was leaving the house, but the phone was turned off. She had her tracking stuff turned off on the phone.
That is crazy. Okay, so guys, I think context do matter here. I have S10 Plus. S10 Plus. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I got Samsung S10 Plus. Don't laugh. But I think this is to do with iPhone, right? Maybe with the latest Samsung phones as well, or maybe with the S10, it's a situation as well. I never tested it actually. This is interesting. It was feeling like a little like paranoia-ish, but now it kind of makes sense.
But I was still able to put in her Apple ID and some random app I downloaded off the App Store and track the last known location of her device, and it wasn't powered on. And this was the moment that I realized even if your device is off, they're still tracking you. So when I come across this clip, I thought, yeah, everybody needs to know about this.
That is crazy. Guys, check out this video on the screen. This is the last episode that we've done. We had a ton of creepy TikToks in this one that will wake you up, change your reality, all that bullshit. Guys, check this out. If you've already seen it, then check out the video on the left.